Good morning, this is Bill from Europa, Naples, and today I've got a cacophony of chainsaws and weed whackers and construction noises. I've got sun, I've got neighbors, I've got trailers. I've actually had to borrow a house up the street because of all the noise and construction going on down there. And it's a shame because what I have today is one of the absolute icons of my youth. Listen to that thing. Listen to that goddamn blower. It's like he has a V8 on there. You know, it's not even 8 o'clock. I don't know what is the matter with these people. There should be federal laws meaning that all yard work has to start after 9 when most decent people are at work. Anyway, let me carry on. This is a 1983 Porsche 928S. Again, one of the absolute icons of my youth. It was a poster car on my wall. It was a complete departure from Porsche. Back in 1971, there was some question and some doubts about the viability of an air-cooled rear-engine car. Some engineers and Porsche execs, Ferdinand Pike among them, famous Volkswagen asshole, who also, was in charge of the diesel scandal. Turns out he's the grandson of Ferry Porsche and had a little bit to do with the development of this car. Anyway, to carry on, they weren't quite sure how the air-cooled rear-engine 911 was going to carry on towards the future, so they handed their engineers a clean sheet of paper and said, come up with a viable replacement, and you don't have to make it ass-engined. You can make it any way you damn well please. And what they did was they came up with this. This is, again, the 928. It's one of the most beautiful and fresh designs, truly, that's ever been made. Instantly loved by just about everybody in the automotive world, except for Porsche purists. And, the design, the appearance, it won the won a big, Car of the Year competition. Against very pedestrian cars that usually win. Sports cars just didn't cut it. So this thing had a lot of accolades. One of the styling cues that's absolutely gorgeous and instantly its most identifiable feature are the upward pointing pop-up headlights, semi-exposed, if you will. They're kind of fresh off the Lamborghini Miura. You don't really hear people say that so much, but man, is that a good looking front end on this car, and those headlights have a lot to do with it. Additionally, even though it's the most commonplace thing in the world today, this urethane covered front bumper here was all new at the time. Most European American cars had these big clunky chrome things to keep up with the bumper standards of the time, and coming up with a set of urethane bumpers that met the laws while at the same time being paintable, because you're talking about very different surfaces. There's aluminum hood and fenders and then a polyurethane bumper. Keeping that all the same color was a feat of engineering at the time. Anyway, it really set the trend for future cars and made this thing so good looking so early on. 83 was also a pretty significant year for the 928. It was the introduction of this S model to these shores, changed the engine from a 4.5 to a 4.7. Emissions laws at the time were a bit crushing, so the thing only had, 234 horsepower, somewhere around there. Still quite a bit for the era, and also was the fastest production car in the United States at that time. You can see the styling is absolutely unique. Going down the road, it's just so gorgeous. It still is today. Very fresh, beautiful design. Look at that big fat rump on it with the twice pipes and the bumperettes, the little black rear spoiler that became standard on this S model that year. The very cool rectangular taillights. The thing just screamed European and exotic and did it really, really well. And they actually sold a few. Truthfully, the Porsche guys went up in arms, the true purists. They said any Porsche that comes out of Stuttgart better goddamn well be ass-engined and better goddamn well be air-cooled. And as a result, Porsche had to go back to the drawing board, become, more involved in forwarding the 911, and they did do a great job of taking that particular car into the current era. That said, the 928 did have some success. It ran for 17 years. It has a, pretty devoted, avid following of lunatics, and, it is probably one of the best handling and best driving GT touring cars of all time. Also a bit of a movie star. Famously, it starred in Risky Business, which, you know, Tom Cruise, he dumped his dad's 928 into Lake Michigan. You know, he had to get it towed out. It was towed to the dealership. They opened the door. Fish were coming out of it. And, you know, I loved when the service manager walked in and said, "All right, who's the U-boat commander?" Great line from that movie. It also starred in Scarface, where the jerky, sarcastic sales guy asked if he should have machine gun turrets installed on it. Hardy har har. And finally, we saw it in Risky, or not Risky, but I already said that, the Weird Science, where you can't remember her name, that British chick. Good Lord, what a good-looking woman. Anyway, she was created by two geeks on their computer, and one of them ended up with a 928, so it all worked out very well for them. One more interesting tidbit. Back in 1979-80, CBS approached Porsche and said, you know, look, we've got this detective show coming out. We got this big tall guy, Tom Selleck. He's going to star in it. And we'd like to have some 928s to run on the show. But we do need the sunroofs modified so, you know, it can be a little bit bigger. Porsche, being the, you know, German engineer types that they were, said, no, we don't think so. You know, we don't modify cars for anyone. So CBS went to Ferrari, and as a result, that 308 became one of the most iconic and most, you know, widely produced Ferraris in history. Incredible success, a lot of it resulting from its exposure on that show. So had Porsche acquiesced to the guys at CBS, who knows what the 928 could have done. It would certainly be more famous today than it is right now. Okay, anyway, that's enough about that. This one is a 1983. It's finished in Guards Red outside. It's a fantastic color for this car. It's got black leather inside. It's all original paint front to back with the exception of the front bumper that's been sprayed. It has the original flat 16-inch aero wheels. Beautiful rim on this car, and these are chrome, which looks really, really good on this particular car. Usually I don't like chrome rims, but they look great on this. That's probably one of the most over-engineered looking rear wipers I've ever seen, with all the different stalks and, you know, balancing shafts. But anyway, it works pretty nice. Let's have a look inside the hatch. Okay, so for a GT touring car, this thing has a pretty big cargo capacity, which has always been one of the design philosophies of Porsche. You know, they want you to get where you're going with what you need when you get there, but they just want you to do it faster and maybe even more efficiently. It has these seats, which there's a little button here. You can fold them down. That enhances your cargo room. You can also have some rear seat passengers in there who will probably go into a full-fledged violent mutiny after 10 or 15 minutes and do what they can to get up to the front. Anyway, everything really nice back here. It has an accessory mat. It's got 928S. You know, I'm sure these are replacement floor mats that are in great shape, front and back, and everything just nice and proper there. Let's have a look under the hood. God, I absolutely love this thing. And they're really bloody affordable. You know, they're starting to really appreciate in value, certainly some of the more rare versions of it. But, you know, ones like this, you can still get into at an incredibly reasonable price. All right, so there it is. They don't give you much room in there, but what you do get is this overhead cam, single overhead cam per side, 4.7 liter, again, about 234 horse, capable of much, much more. You know, fuel-injected V8 with, look at that, an actual radiator. So, you know, look at that, Porsche purist. There it is. That's what they use in most cars today. Anyway, all very nice under there, very original. It's a good running engine, very smooth, lovely. And again, at the time, it propelled this car to being the fastest production car in the United States. Laid waste to the Corvette. Are those great headlights? In fact, let's work those so you can check it out. Let me get my key in, we'll put them up. All the knobs, the switches, it's so absolutely European and unlike anything else. I mean, look at the way the lock knob is. You have to twist it. Anyway, look at these bug eye things that come up. You know, one can debate their attractiveness when they're in the air, but when they are retracted and facing upward, they're absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I love the body color on them, love the chrome rings. They do pave the way nicely. You got a set of fogs down there at the bottom that look great, and headlights are all working fantastically well in this car. All right, inside, here's your rear seats. Beautiful leather. Porsche always has used nice leather. Lovely covering of the center console hump. This thing has a transaxle, so it has almost perfect 50-50 weight distribution. That means there's no transmission here where you'd expect it. It's all the way back there hanging between the rear tires. And that means you've got a heavy engine up front, a heavy transaxle in the back, and a driver that, as you can see, has been steered towards the middle of the car, in a seating position. So really and truly one of the best balanced cars of all time. These seats, very nice, lovely leather, all original, never been touched up or mediced. A little bit of patina there, you know, whatever. For what they are, again, these seats are, oh God, they're going on 35 years old now. They are absolutely incredible condition and very original, which makes them very collectible. That said, I don't think this red covering on the door and the center console is original. So if you want to return that standard, you know, for a couple $100, you can have that covered in black leather and get it back to the way it was. I do think it looks nice, although it's not the way I'd have the car. But, you know, everybody's got their own taste. Again, look at the way the door is shaped on this thing. It's so kind of, you know, ultimately modern, angled at the front and at the back. You got this great little map pocket here. Not actually, there you go. Slides out. It's just so different from the way other cars are built. And again, part of that came from giving the Porsche engineers a completely blank piece of paper. I like the 928 emblazoned on the rocker, the scuff plate here. It's kind of cool the way it's clear plastic over the red body. Just looks nice. You can see all the very funky seat controls there. They're all working. The power seat works great in the car. Anyway, let's hop in and go for a spin. That's going to be the funnest part. PCA, no surprise there. This guy was a Porsche Club member. I'm sure the air-cooled guys made him sit at the back of the room. All right, well, we're going to need keys if we're going to get in and drive the car, so I'm going to have to track those down. What the hell did I do with them? You know, I'm just the only guy who can lose a set of keys while he's doing a video in about 8 seconds. Oh, this is ridiculous. All right, leave them under the hood. They're in the damn ignition. Of course, that's right where they should be. All right, let's pretend that little interlude didn't happen. Look at that little slit of a sunroof. Again, the kind of thing you could fire arrows through in the Middle Ages. All right, nice low seating position, but still much easier to get in and out of than most sports cars, and certainly the Corvette at the time. Very unique instrument cluster, also adjustable, and I love the way the entire gauge pod adjusts with it. So that was pretty ingenious at the time. You can see a very nicely laid out instrument cluster there, just 89,000 miles on the clock. Gauges are absolutely lovely, very simple to read, very easy. The original leather steering wheel is in lovely shape, the stitching still intact, all very nice and proper. All the switches and controls, again, totally unique and interesting with the knurled edges, the twist for the headlights. You've got your rear defrost, your hazards, cruise control, you know, just everything super nice and super proper in this car. A little bit of cracking in the dash pad. This is all very common in 928s. There's some elegant solutions for that. You could buy for a couple $100 a beautiful stitched leather cover and have that installed, or you know, they have ABS plastic that can go over them and looks really good. Anyway, no matter what you do, you'll be able to fix that up if you want to. Lovely leather headliner, very interesting rear sun visors. So if you've got the All right, so that was one of those phone calls that interrupts things, but, you know, again, one day I'll get that sorted. As I was saying, rear sun visors, very interesting, unique feature in this car. You can lower those to keep the sun off your back when it's behind you, and that's just something you haven't seen before, at least in 83 or 78 when it came out. Let's fire this big 8 up. All right, you hear that 4.7 liters, fires right to life. Nice menacing rumble coming out of the back. And that is very un-Porsche-like. And again, part of the thing that really pisses off the purists, who are a bunch of obviously cranky bastards. I mean, those guys really need to chill out. Let Porsche be what it wants to be. I mean, oh my God, what a bunch of nitwits. Oh, I'm sure they're very nice guys. Anyway, you can see everything just absolutely lovely, the way it's all laid out, the way it's running. Over here you've got automatic climate control, works really nice. It's got an exclamation point that lights up red when bad things are happening, or maybe even when good things are happening. AC nice and cold in this car, works really well. Nice and chilly, but not for this morning. We also have this horrific aftermarket Jvc radio that's been put in. This were my car, I would instantly change that to a, you know, maybe a period correct Alpine or Blaupunkt or just something a little better looking than this ridiculous thing. But anyway, there it is. It's got Bluetooth and, you know, whatever it has, it's fine. It sounds fine. You got that great little digital clock there, 24-hour clock, making the car just feel a little more exotic to American buyers. 80% of these things were automatics, and this one's no exception to the general rule. It was a 4-speed automatic put in 83, so a little better gas mileage to match its more horsepower, and everything shifts real nice and proper there. You got the window switches, you got a sunroof that works really well. Certainly well enough. A little bit squeaky, but anyway, still operating properly. Over here, you've got a set of books in the glove box. The light in there is still working. And, you know, you can tell there was some really fantastic, you know, German engineering put into this car. Let's go for a drive. So what a treat it is for me to drive this thing. Again, as I was a kid, I just lusted after him, but my dad was as likely to buy a Porsche 928 as he was a Spanish Castle, which is to say not very likely at all. This thing goes down the road beautifully. Very nice feel from the throttle. Lovely firm feel from the steering. It's of course power assisted, but not over assisted, so you get a very nice feel. Truly, it is one of the best handling Porsches and cars of all time, with its perfect weight distribution. It has a very fancy rear suspension that keeps it from having snap oversteer, while you can still be very sporty and exotic with it. So again, by, you know, modern standards, 234 horsepower is like Camry level. So, you know, at the time, again, fastest production car in America, and thought of as extremely quick. It's also geared for it's also geared for highway speeds. You know, that said, it's got plenty of pep, and it runs all the way up to 146 miles an hour, which is nice. And man, it looks good doing it. So anyway, as a runner, a driver, this thing is terrific. It's super comfortable and cushy. You know, it's not an enormous cabin, even though it's a pretty big car. But for your 2 front seat passengers, they're going to feel pretty comfy and ensconced in nice supportive leather. The rear seat guys, they can go to hell anyway. If they're, you know, that far down on the totem pole, they're in the back. They don't matter much. You got kids or grandkids, just stuff them back there. They'll be fine. Hand them an iPad or something. Anyway, here it is, 83 Porsche 928S Coupe. You know, a very significant, interesting car. 83 was the first year, some great features. This thing looks terrific, it drives terrific. Mechanically, it's very sound. Cosmetically, it's very sound as well. You know, collectible-wise, you're getting in cheap right now. They really aren't going to be any cheaper than this. So, you know, buy it, keep it polished, love on it a little bit, and you'll be able to sell it down the road for more than you paid, if you want to. I wouldn't. I just hang on to this thing forever. I'm very tempted to put it in my garage, but, you know, if I bought every car that came along, I'd have quite a few. So thanks very much for having a look. We appreciate it. Oh, God. That just takes me back. Anyway, we really appreciate it. We'll see you with the next one. Take care.